Hi, Dominic.
Hey, Jessica. We are. I didn't expect you to say, "Hey, Dominic." I thought we would do like we did
Just
last
stay quiet.
week. Like I thought we were gonna do how we did last week. Like I'm Dominic and I'm Jessica.
And
But
I'm
you were
just, yeah.
yeah. But it's okay.
I just
It's cool.
felt, more of a conversation this time around.
That's
Our
totally fair.
second time.
Yeah,
Broken
yeah,
in the
yeah.
podcasting mics. Yeah.
You're already like hella comfortable. That's cool. That's totally fine. You're already ready to put your feet up and just chill. Like, yeah, whatever. I'm a veteran at this.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay. Well, anyway, you heard us. My name's Dominic. That's Jessica. This is our podcast, Us versus the Movies. This is the show that wishes that bicycle kicks will come back around full circle.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. Give me like wires, visible wires during
Yes,
action
yes.
sequences.
Bring back cheesy stunts. Bring back Liu Kang bicycle kicks in every movie. I think every movie going forward should have them.
Yeah, absolutely.
sure.
I'm a big fan. Dominic, could this observation maybe be inspired by what we chose to watch this week?
Absolutely, yes. So if you didn't see last week's episode, we decided that this week we would watch 2000s, the year 2000s, Charlie's Angels, where, spoiler alert, there is more than one bicycle kick scene that happens in the movie, and it's great. It's great.
Yeah, so coming off of Supergirl as our first pick, this felt like the right movie. I debated back and forth because this is one of my nominations for the wheel that was not rigged, that was completely fair choice.
Yeah, totally fair, completely fair. Wasn't rigged at all. Of course not.
Yeah, the gods favored me, gave me Charlie's Angels. I feel like when I think of action, I think I made the comment in that episode, like, oh, I actually like action movies. This is the action I was referring to. This very specific,
okay. Yeah, this is
campy, like, yeah, I love it. I love everything about this. Before we get into our review, I did want to set the stage for what this movie was like at the time it came out, 2000s. I don't know if you do the thing. I see people mention this a lot where they're like, oh, anytime someone mentions 1990, I think 10 years ago or maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah. I still do the same thing. It's really weird because for me, it's 2010 feels like it was literally right there, even though it was 16 years ago. And
yeah, so this movie would have been 26 years ago. Yeah, that should have been okay.
Yeah. That hurts.
Quite a while ago. I obviously, well, maybe not obviously. At this point, 2000, I would have been 5. A baby. Obviously, this was not a movie that I watched in theaters, but it was a movie that I watched very, very, very young. So young that I think my first initial experiences with it was just thinking like, oh my God, these beautiful girls on screen. And then later came the revelation that this is a masterpiece that I get to enjoy over and over for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I feel like I probably watched it as a kid. I was about the same age as you, 6 years old at the time. I'm pretty sure I watched it at some point, but I have no recollection of it. So coming up on it now, it feels like a first time watch to me. And it was great. And I love that this got to be kind of like the first time, but not really the first time watch for it. I wish there was all kinds of movies that I could wipe my memory of clean and then just like rewatch it for the first time. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. You say that, this would be one that I'd use that for. Some stats. This movie had a $93 million budget, which...
That's a little more than I thought that would have been. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You know what's crazy? There are moments where I'm like, this feels like such an unnecessary scene because we'll talk about it. Very fast-paced movie.
Yeah.
But I could see it. I mean, I could see where they chose to spend money on. Like, even if the scene was 30 seconds long, 30 seconds to a minute of action. I get it. Also, big names. We talked a little bit about this as well. Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, and Drew Barrymore. I'm sure were not cheap to get. At the time, like these girls were at their height.
Peak.
Stunning. You could not have cast this better.
Truly beautiful. Each and every one of them. Yes.
Yeah. God. This is one of the bigger hits of the year 2000. It did really well as far as like money, if we're just going by money. I know that at the time it had some like audience feedback that was like mixed reviews to this day. If you are one of those people that looks at like Rotten Tomato scores, it's sort of like middle ground, like in the 50s.
Yeah.
And I think part of that was it's a little campy. It pokes fun at the genre. It references a bunch of spy movies that came before it. It just felt like to me, such a fun twist on this type of like cliche of like what a spy movie is and what spies are supposed to be like, and some of the like main plot points that we see here, but they're just done, I think, a little funner for the girls.
Yes, definitely. I think, yeah, funner for the girls feels like kind of a good little phrase synopsis of the entire movie. But that doesn't mean that, like dudes can't enjoy it too. Like I'll say this, we were talking about a little bit before we started recording, but compared to a lot of other movies that came out around the same time or within that like 2000 to 2005 or 6 time period, this one actually ages kind of up there with the best, in my opinion. Like it ages really, really well.
Yeah.
Surprisingly well. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous when this legitimately won the Will Spin last week. I was like, oh, all right. But no, I was shocked at how much I enjoyed it, for sure. It's a good watch. Absolutely.
Good. Awesome. You ready to get into the review?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so this movie opens with not our first, but the first mission that we see the girls on. We don't see them yet, though, which I thought was such a fun reveal, although a little problematic. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
We have a mission that doesn't make a lick of sense. Like, you see people on a plane exchanging diamonds. Someone's wearing a bomb.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, okay. The crazy thing about that, did you have any more to say specifically about like what okay. So, all right.
Nope.
I got 2 big questions here. Okay. Number one.
Go for it.
Number one, you know how last week we were doing this and we were talking about Supergirl and you were like, why is Jason Momoa here? And that was valid. Take a guess at from this opening scene, why is he here moment. And I wasn't bothered by it, but I just was shocked.
Oh, did I not recognize a character I should?
LL Cool J is in this movie, and he's like the main character of this opening scene. Why? I was so confused.
That's Drew Barrymore, baby.
No, well, yes, I know. I know now because of what happens, and like she takes off. Yeah, so for y'all, yes, what ends up happening is we're on like you said, it makes no sense.
I could not tell you. I think maybe they're exchanging illegal diamonds. Why does he have a bomb though? I don't understand that part.
So yeah,
but LL Cool J, sorry, jumps out of the plane.
He throws a guy out of the plane.
He throws it out of the plane and then he jumps out.
So no, yeah, he goes first. He gets racially profiled by some random flight attendant. Yeah, because they're like, "Oh, sir, this is for first class only." And him in his all African getup is like, "Are you looking for this?" And he has his first class pass on him, which I don't think that's a thing, but I guess so. Right, or not a thing you just carry around on
2000s.
You. I guess so. And so then he goes to sit down next to this one random twitchy guy, and the twitchy guy is like, he says some kind of weird line about like, I heard that not even birds can fly this high, and then LL Cool J's like, but angels can, and that's their key word that they like know each other. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I still don't know why LL Cool J is here. I didn't think this movie's about him, but sure, right? All right, fair. And then the guy's like, I got a bomb. And he opens up his jacket. And the bomb's counting down. And I thought I seen that wrong. It has 60 seconds on it. And it's counting down continuously. But LL Cool J's chill. And the guy's chill. And the guy's like, so you got the diamonds? And then he shows him the diamonds. And then they say some other weird stuff back and forth. But I'm thinking in his head, like, okay, if he didn't have the diamonds, were you just prepared to kill yourself and everyone else on this planet? On this plane? Was that the plan? Yeah. Like, if I don't get the diamonds I want, everyone here is gonna die.
I guess so.
But yeah, LL Cool J throws homie off the plane. Homie is screaming for his life. Like he seems like he has no idea he's about to be thrown. And I'm like, what is happening? And then we get the reveal that LL Cool J is Drew Barrymore. It's great. Dylan,
yes.
Dylan ends up being, spoiler alert, she is my favorite out of the three girls throughout this entire movie. She's great. She is wonderful.
Okay.
She's so funny, so pretty.
So you are so you identify as a Buttercup. If we're making the Powerpuff Girls parallel, you are a Dylan. You are a Buttercup.
I actually thought of it differently. You tell me if I'm wrong. I thought of I'm willing to defer to you because you've seen the movie more than me.
Yeah, whatever you're about to say, I know is wrong.
At least let me say it though. I thought of Alex being the Buttercup because, and hear me out. The reason being is because Alex seems like she has, except for the fact that she's terrible at cooking for some reason. That's a joke they make throughout the movie. But other than her being bad at cooking, she's good at literally everything else, and she has like all her shit kind of together. Like she's like she's like perfect. There's no like everybody else.
And you think that makes her a Buttercup?
Kind of. Whereas I saw Dylan as the nope. This is embarrassing. This is funny.
You're getting the names wrong.
I am, because I also haven't seen Powerpuff Girls in a long time.
You thought she was a Blossom.
Yes, Alex was the Blossom. Dylan
the
was
leader,
the Buttercup,
the redhead.
Yes, and then Natalie was the.
Natalie is obviously Bubbles. Yeah,
Bubbles. Yes, and for some reason in my head, I don't know why I got the names of the Powerpuff Girls mixed up. That's crazy work. But
I'm in my lane, bro. Like you can't second guess me here.
I wasn't even trying to. I just in my head, legitimately, I had their names. I was picturing the right one, but I just
as you were talking, I was like, "There's no way you're thinking of." I was like, how could you pitch Dylan as Blossom or as Bubbles? Like, there's no way.
Yeah. No.
She's a Buttercup. Yeah. So you're a Buttercup. Okay.
Yes, for sure. I would say so. Yes. Okay. Especially the older I get, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah,
do you know who I identify with?
Blossom.
Yeah. I'm an Alex.
Yeah.
For sure.
I had to think about it for a second. I was like, "There's no way you're a Bubbles. No way you're a Natalie. no way you're a Natalie. Not at all."
I'm a Alex with like a little bit of Dylan, I think.
Yes. If you can't tell, this is this feels like a very adult, campy version of Powerpuff Girls to a certain degree. So that is quick little spoiler for the recommendation section. We're not going to do a full recommendation section here. Just if you like this, also watch Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah,
you'll get the same kind of feeling of it.
Exactly. Do you know the fun fact? What the original name was for the Powerpuff Girls?
No.
I think it was Whoop Ass Girls. I'm not.
I have heard that before. Now that you say it, I have heard that before, and that makes total sense. Yes.
Yeah, love it.
And I think they were drawn totally different. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, they were drawn a little different. Yeah. Like a concept art. Okay, so yes, we have this crazy scene that it's so short, and then immediately we cut to the girls sort of living independent lives. We get to see them like on their own. I love this introduction, this opening scene, which all to me, the mission and then the clips we see of the girls, I almost like fuse them together as the opening scene.
Yes.
So we see, like we said, I'll start with how we see them in order. We start with Natalie, played by beautiful Cameron Diaz. Stunning. Every one of these girls is so
they're all
incredible.
Gorgeous for sure.
Yeah. And I think I wrote myself like a couple of notes here. I think if I had to like peg these girls with really specific identifiers, I think of Natalie as like our geeky but fun girl. She's dancing in her Spider-Man underwear. Did you catch that?
Yes, I did. And I was like, oh, that's adorable. Yes.
Yeah. She's just so naive, but I don't mean that as like an insulting word. Like, what did she tell the mailman? She's like, I signed the form. Feel free to stick anything to my slot.
Yeah. Yes,
just
exactly.
So cute.
Which, okay, yes, that was an insane line, by the way. That was like, and this movie has a lot of insane lines. Like I'm all for like, sexual innuendos in movies. Like I think it'd be kind of funny. It's cheesy, but it's cute. This movie had a lot of like wild lines. I was like, dang, and that was one of them. I was like, oh, I can't believe she just said that.
Love her. But we see her clearly like just a fun girl. We also see a little bit of like their upbringing, their background, where Dylan always seemed like this awkward, she has braces, she's taking her driving test, and she's kind of like a little weird about it. And then we see Natalie, who that was Natalie, Cameron Diaz. We see Alex, played by Lucy Liu. and we see her like horse riding, so there's an implication that she maybe it comes from money. There's like and the way she carries herself is true to that. Like she's sort of like this more put together.
Yes. She's the leader.
If you had to name a leader, yes. Although movie posters
they don't really
put
show
Cameron
it.
Diaz first, which
for sure. They don't carry themselves like they have a leader, but
it
seems like she's the front facing one who, like you said, she has her shit together.
Maybe like our voice of reason at times.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. I put wealthy and smart. Wealthy, encompassing all, like her mannerisms as well. She's just very elegant. And she is practicing her lines with Jason. Did you catch who Jason was? Please tell me you did.
Yeah. Oh, so I put that in my notes too. I thought it was amazing. The fact I'm not, and here's the thing, I'm not even like the biggest fan of Friends in the world, right? Like the Friends, the TV show, it was cool, whatever. I'm not one of those people that's gone and rewatch it 10 times. But the fact that Joey was my favorite part from that show, and the fact that he's also here playing an actor is just perfect. It's literally perfect.
I love it. I was and
like, wow.
You thinking of the TV show Friends in context for this time period, like of course this was a reference to like she's dating Joey, like
of why would
Joey,
she be?
Jason, whatever, you know.
And he kind of was acting. For a second, I had to like think. I was like, obviously this is intentional, but I was like, is he supposed to be playing the same kid? Like, is it literally like Joey? Like, if he like, you know what I mean, a continuation.
If he made
the universe, exactly. If he made it, good.
I love it. I love the Joey reveal. And then we have at the very end, Dylan, played by Drew Barrymore. Yes. And Dylan is our I put strong, rough around the edges.
Yes. She's
sort
cool
of like a rebel without a care, you know. She
was on Who Was Cool. Yeah, she was in a bathroom, seemingly in, I don't know if that was high school or college or something, but she was smoking cigarettes with her lighter, and it was kind of, it was like, oh, she's trouble, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, loved this opening. We established a couple of things. We also get a voiceover by Charlie, who runs the agency that the girls work for, Charlie Townsend.
Yes.
And he gives us our voiceover, and we get like a montage of the girls also going on missions. So we see them in these like coordinated looks. We understand right off the bat that like fashion has a lot to do with their missions as well. Yes. I cannot tell you how often I laughed at how quickly they changed outfits mid-mission.
Yeah,
I'd be like, fuck it.
I actually think the movie did a really good job of showing off their, like, I think you made a reference last week when we were talking about how, or maybe you just told it to me, I don't remember if you said it on camera, how, when it comes to the idea of like superheroes, like they might as well be superheroes too, these three spies, right? And I feel like their main power, what I wrote in my notes, their number one thing that would be like, that works better than anybody else, any other character, they're masters of disguise. They're basically all Mystique.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is pretty interesting. And I think that's how they get away with literally anything they do on any mission. Is like, oh yeah, like they could dress up as anybody, anything, and just like if they ever did a modern day, and I'm pretty sure they probably have tried, but if they did a modern day Charlie's Angels,
boy, do I have news for you.
Okay,
it was not good. They did.
I'm sure they did.
Good.
But if they tried again, I think I could see them doing like some kind of weird CGI effect where like, oh, they have on like a thing with their suit and they press the button and it changes their outfits or whatever. That's probably how they were probably trying to science it up. But what I put in my notes is I'm really glad that in this movie they weren't afraid to literally strip down and just put on whatever outfit they had. Like it felt very practical. It felt very.
There's no logic. Also, I love that too. Like where was the outfit hidden? Like how would they fit that under what they were wearing? Like skin tight, and then they reveal another outfit. No one gives a shit. Like I'm here to see them in matching looks. Yeah. I did want to point out all of this. The moment the movie starts. Mm-hmm. Drew Barrymore jumping out of the fucking plane. This whole all this backstory of the girls, that entire thing, under 7 minutes.
Yeah, and we should probably talk about this because we made a point. We gave Supergirl credit last week, and we're gonna give the same credit here. This is real close to a tight 90.
I think if you were to cut credits,
I was about to say that. Yeah. If you cut credits out, you are at a tight 90, which is perfect. And anytime a movie can deliver on a good, solid, even if the plot is a little all over the place, who cares? If you can entertain us for a tight 90 and feel like we're not missing anything, right? It's not like, oh, I wish we had more of that. Perfect. Like, great job, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's our intro to the girls. At this point in the movie, I'm so curious. You did mention a little bit about. So I have seen this movie time and time again over the past 26 years.
Yeah.
But so the tone for me is just always, it feels like a warm hug. Like, oh, I'm back here. Just fun, ridiculousness. I'm here for the laughs. How did you feel at this point? 7 minutes in. Where was your brain?
7 minutes. 7 minutes in, I had to pause the movie, rub my eyes, and be like, "Did I click on the right movie?" Because in my head, what I thought of when I thought of Charlie's Angels was this kind of badass like spy movie where they go on these missions and stuff, and it's three, like three beautiful women. But I'll be honest, in my head, because I hadn't watched it since I was a kid, I thought of them as like overly sexualized, like regular women who are just overly sexualized, right?
Okay.
Then when I watched the movie, I was like, oh no, they actually are just that gorgeous. Like the movie, it does sexualize them a little bit, but not in any kind of insane way. They actually just, they're
these are just stunning women.
Just stunning. But the other thing I thought of is I thought the movie was a bit more serious than it actually was. I was like, oh, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. 7 minutes in, I was just confused because I was like, why is it so campy? Like, and not in a, it felt in a weird way, kind of like, are these like, I'm not gonna lie, not all the jokes landed. I was like, are these supposed to be like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to explain, but somewhere probably about a third of the way in, I was like, oh no, this is what they're going for. It's just silly. Okay, absolutely. I get
it. Yeah, silly more than. I think about that like. I think my brain goes to like, oh, I think the closest comparison you could make at the time would have been Austin Powers, but Austin Powers was going for like laugh out loud vibes.
Exactly.
Like they were making jokes. Yes. Whereas the joke here, I think, is like, look at how outlandish we can make this genre.
Right. Yes.
Without necessarily like asking for that laugh from the audience. So I was I'm still a big fan of this movie, but.
You talked about earlier that I think the best way to put it, you talked about earlier how this felt like a spoof on other spy movies in some ways. And they obviously did that, but it didn't feel like an actual, like it wouldn't fit in the full genre of, like, it's not like a scary movie where we're making fun of horror movies, or it's not like
absolutely
one of those where,
you know, what I think of this, I think of like the scary movies, right? Those are spoofs of scary movies. But if you're familiar, I think of Scream, the first Scream movie, being a love letter to the horror movies that came before it.
Yes.
And this feels like that for spy movies.
Oh, for sure. Yes. There's a difference between we're admiring and writing a love letter to the genre, and we're making fun of the genre. Totally.
Yeah. Okay. So we set our mission. Love this like very distinct method of storytelling. Yes. Our mission is Knox Technology. So Knox is a man played by Sam Rockwell, who owns a company that has created this like voice identification software. I think I ripped that straight from the movie. That's how they explain it.
Yep.
And I love that they don't get too like intricate. They're just like, bitch, voice identification software. They can figure out like who you are just from a small clip of you talking. Yep. We get an intro to Bosley, who we understand that Charlie is like the head boss, right? He runs Charlie Townsend, the spy agency.
Yeah.
But Bosley is like the middleman.
Right. This was a little confusing when I first saw it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it wasn't until later in the movie that I started that I got a little, because I was at first I thought that was almost Charlie, but I was like, well, he sounds different. Than Charlie. Yeah. But the way I think what threw me off is he said a couple lines about my angels, and I was like, well, I thought they worked for Charlie, not you. Like, what? They're also your angel. Yeah. Like, it was, I didn't really fully understand and I guess I still don't fully understand the structure of this spy agency, but I guess it's Charlie, then Bosley, and then the angels, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. I love Bill Murray as Bosley. I will say, if you ever decide to watch the next Charlie's Angel Full Throttle, he gets recast.
Like,
Yeah.
Bill Murray gets to play a different character, or they choose someone else to play Bosley?
Bill Murray did not want to come back for Charlie's Angel Full
Oh,
Throttle.
wow.
So they had
Why
to
didn't-
cast
oh.
someone else in his spot. Yeah, I'm so
That's
curious. I haven't done a deep
very
dive on
awkward.
that. Yeah,
Very
it is a
awkward.
little strange. I loved him in this movie. I love the play on, you usually have a male lead who like is responsible for saving, you know, his partner or maybe his sidekick who's defenseless, and that's who Bill Murray plays in this movie, like the defenseless, sort of bumbling, good-hearted, you know, occasionally maybe like the Ruthie, we could say, occasionally
Yeah.
helpful
Yeah.
at
Yes.
times, but overall kind of a dork.
He was just there. One of the things I had in my notes was, I didn't see this until later in the movie. I didn't really understand what it was supposed to be. But one of the things I had in my notes was like, is his character supposed to be an idiot? Or is he just like a little bit? Because there's a part later on in him. I'll say it because it's not an important part. We're not going to cover it. But there's a random scene later on in the movie where he's talking to someone or holding something, and he turns around, he just bumps and first into a wall, just randomly. And I'm like, and it didn't seem like it had any consequence on the scene. It didn't like do any. It just was a thing, and it made me wonder. I was like, is that just a rent? Like, did Bill Murray actually just accidentally bump into a wall and they left it in? So it's little moments like that, and I think there's another part where he like trips over he trips and falls or does something weird, and I was like, is he supposed to be clumsy? Is that his character? Or
yeah, he's supposed to be like
idiot?
not great at. We learn later that like he is smart behind a desk, like he's good with the tech stuff, like the way Alex is, but like as a field man, like out there, you know, doing what the Angels do, not so much. But they do occasionally need him, so they ask him to step in.
Yes.
Yeah, I just love how he's like the damsel in distress, literally like in a tower that the girls have to go rescue.
Yeah.
Very cute. But we get Knox as this very successful, you know, almost like a geeky, like, you know, if I had to picture what maybe Mark Zuckerberg looked like at the beginning of Facebook, this is probably it. Like, just kind of awkward looking. Vivian Westwood is his partner, and she's I don't want to say smarter, but she comes across as like the more capable, maybe like business mindset of the two. And she's the one that actually reaches out to, as far as the Angels know, has reached out to Charlie's company in order to track down whoever's. No, my bad. We don't meet Knox yet. He's kidnapped at this point.
Yes, he is still kidnapped.
So Vivian is the one that hires that hires Charlie's Charlie Townsend, the spy agency, to track down her partner, because she's like, they've taken him, you know, and his software is so precious or whatever. And she believes that one of their competitors, Roger Corwin, and they refer to him as Corwin the rest of the movie, played by Tim Curry. My baby boy. Yeah, she thinks that he may be to blame. So they have footage of when he gets kidnapped. Yeah. And she's like, here you go. Here's what I have. Please find my partner. His technology in the wrong hands could be really, like, you know, detrimental.
Did you also think that it was a little weird in that moment where she shows the footage, like she has perfect, I guess, like CCTV like footage of him being kidnapped. And at first I was like, okay. At first when I saw it, I was like, how does she have, because this footage is like literally, like you can see the people in the video, you can see like the license plate of the car, everything. And I was like, okay, so she seems like she has all the knowledge she would need to track the person down. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's just a coincidence. She got this from a random parking garage area. Maybe it's her building, they own it, and that's why they have it.
Yeah.
Which is like, all right, that's fine. But then I also thought, why didn't she just bring this to the police? But this is still early on in the movie where I was like, what is this movie? And then eventually, after enough of these moments, I'm like, oh, got it. All right. Yeah. That's the whole point. Got it.
Yeah, it's all part of the eventual twist, right, of the movie. Yeah. I love that it's like not even well hid, or they're not trying to play mind games. They're like, bitch, we're trying to get to the plot here. Like,
we're
we have
moving
a
quickly.
Beautiful action sequence, to get to.
Yes.
So the girls set off on their mission, and I labeled this entire like sequence of events as like gathering data, because that's what it feels like. We get a really bizarre scene at the massage parlor where they find out that Corwin goes to get his massages, so they send in Alex, Lucy Liu, to give him a massage. And during this massage, she knocks him out. She like jumps onto his back and then twist his neck around. I don't know. Very weird.
Yeah, real weird scene. I thought it was really funny. I thought the whole thing was funny. The only thing it made me wonder though, and it's not. I put in my notes, and it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I put, why is every man in this movie a creep? Exaggeration, because it's not literally every man in this movie, but there's every guy who. It's like half the guys in this movie are really weird or creepy or like kind of. I don't know. They're just they give you icky vibes, and this guy was definitely one of them. It was like he kept making these weird kind of like sexual references and jokes and stuff, and she was, you could tell she just was not about it. I love how she like repeatedly shut him down, like that's probably my favorite thing, not my favorite, but that's one of my favorite things about her in this movie. I think it happens in this scene and the very next scene after this. She openly gets hits on by men in this movie, and she just is immediately like, nope, no, nuh-uh,
yeah,
nope,
he makes a
nope,
he
don't
says
want any part of
like, it. While she's massaging him, he says like, oh, like I could really use someone like you on my staff. And she goes,
yes,
there's no way I'm getting anywhere near your staff.
Yes, except
so good.
And if it was, if that's the line he said, that would almost be acceptable. But you remember what he said something about her hands. He said, I could use someone like your hands. And that's where it's like, that's weird, bro. That's real weird. Real strange.
I do appreciate that at least all of the men that they made creepy are the bad guys. Corwin, not so much, because we end up finding out that he wasn't responsible for the kidnapping.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah.
When you look at all the innocent guys, like Bosley, Charlie, all the
chill.
love interests, Pete, Jason, great guys, no flaws.
They're chill dudes, but
the Chad.
I was oh my gosh, and I wasn't gonna bring it up until later, but I will talk about it now since you just talked about it. His name was Corwin, right?
Yes, Corwin.
As a little bit creepy as he was in this scene, I actually felt really bad for him by the end, because I was like, bro,
he was framed.
Yeah, he was framed. Like it's like a lot of times when I watch movies, I try and look at things that happen to characters based off of kind of movie karma, right? Like if you do enough shitty things, then you are gonna have shitty things done to you, or you're gonna end up straight up dead.
Yeah.
And that kind of works in my head, especially for like scary movies and especially for action movies. Like when random things happen to characters that they kind of have no control over, I like to think of it as like, oh, that's universal karma. You had that coming. I can't say that about this guy. I'm like, oh no, I don't, because I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt a little bad for him, but whatever. I guess that's just what happens. Shame on him for making one too many inappropriate jokes, I guess.
Also being like a multimillionaire, maybe a little bit of like, you mentioned Asian appropriation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I forgot about that. Yeah. So So let's get into the next part. The next scene we see, he apparently is this is his party, right?
Yeah. This is his party.
Yeah. So there's a party he's having, and the purpose of them being there is to find who they think is the guy who this is really, they literally put in the name, his name is
Creepy Thin Man.
Creepy Thin Man, which is pretty funny. I love that that's his name. But
they've been able to identify, played by Crispin Glover, but they have this great scene right before this party where they were able to get into the massage parlor, take Corwin's phone and pull like information. That's how they know he's hosting a party. And as they're doing that, they're also taking the footage that Vivian gave them and like, oh, I love this. I love a computer enhance. Love it.
Yeah,
she does it. Silly. And they're able to clarify the picture and see a very, very clear picture of Creepy Thin Man, because that's all they have to call him by. And he does. I mean, I could not think of a better
like a creepy ass thin guy. Yeah, very, very thin, like shockingly thin.
Yes, very everything. Weird. Like even like a very thin pinched nose, just very thin, like straight eyebrows. Everything about this, like styling for the character, iconic. But yes, they're hoping to find some sort of like connection between Creepy Thin Man and Corwin, because then they can place and say like, oh well, he was clearly hired, right, as part of the kidnapping crew. Yeah. So they crash a party.
Yes.
And
we were about to get into, well, if you have another point to make it first, go ahead. But I didn't want to lose it.
No. I was just gonna say I want to point out the girls walk in these beautiful gowns.
Yes.
Couple minutes later, they strip those gowns away to reveal like tactical gear for the big fight scene, and I'm like, how?
Yeah, it makes no sense, but I'm glad they did it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it would have been the temptation to leave them in those gowns while they're like kicking ass would have been a little bit too high.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? But yeah, they find Creepy Thin Man, chase him down. You know,
At
kinda
this
kick
party,
his-
yeah, they are able to find
at
him.
this party, yep, kick his ass a little bit. But one of the other the I guess the subplot that's happening here is our guy what's his name? I'm blanking on
Bosley?
the guy. Bosley I guess is trying to get in close or interrogate or like
Yes.
befriend
Corwin.
Corwin, yeah. And so, you know, he does a bit where he eats the deadly blowfish because Corwin challenges him.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute. That was funny. But then the thing that was wild to me, and this is coming right off of the weird massage scene, they both get into these giant sumo suits for fun, I guess, and everyone's cheering them on. Neither of them are Asian men or whatever, but I guess so. It's not like it's part of Corwin's culture, but they get in these suits. And instead of actually even sumo wrestling and showing some kind of like appreciation for the art form, they just ram into each other over and over. They just run into this over and over.
Yeah.
And it's like, what in the world are we watching?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, well, I'm glad it was only a total of 10 seconds in this very fast-paced sequence of events where a bunch of other shit is happening, because it is one of those things that feels a little bit out of place. As well as the massage parlor bit with Natalie and Dylan also being in Asian attire.
Yeah, exactly. It was this whole little like 2 or 3 scenes back to back was a little like, I wonder how. It reminded me of not as much, but it reminded me a little bit of some scenes from like the first Rush Hour or even a second Rush Hour.
Yeah.
They do a lot. They do a lot with like Asian culture, and you could in those movies you could almost say like, oh, I guess they're kind of appreciating it to a certain degree. You know, I'm sure Jackie Chan had a lot of input to put into it, so maybe it's like, all right, but then there's also like, nah, these are a little weird.
I think it's one of the instances where the movie shows its age.
Definitely. But to your degree, to your point, that's all there is pretty much in this entire movie. That's like,
there's one other clip coming up that was rough, but we'll get to it. And
I must be forgetting it. Fair enough.
Yeah,
okay.
you must be, because it hit me out of nowhere. I was like, oh, okay. But yes, the girls are able to, they see Creepy Thin Man at the party. They chase him down and he gets away, but he does lead them to where Knox is being held captive in a dungy room with like 2 inches of water and rats crawling around, and he's like tied up, blindfolded.
Yes.
But they find him. Yeah.
Yes.
A little bizarre.
Yeah. So this was another part of the movie where I was kind of like, why would they lead him directly to the hostage he's supposed to be holding? Like it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But it eventually it does start to make sense.
Yeah.
And I think this might be the point in the movie where I legitimately realized, oh, this is supposed to actually be campy. Like that's the whole point. It doesn't take itself too seriously, so I need to stop taking it seriously. And then from here on out, I had a lot more fun with it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the girls are like jumping 10 feet over wire fences.
Yes.
Landing in superhero poses.
Stuff. Yes.
Coordinated kicks.
Yes.
Incredible. One notable thing about this party is that this is where we get Pete. Is that right? Yeah, Pete, played by Luke Wilson, who becomes Natalie's like love interest throughout the movie. Just a sweet guy. He's a waiter. She's of the 2 girls. She's the one that pretends to also be a waiter at this party. Mm-hmm. So she engages with him a little. We see that she's like a little awkward, beautiful, but like
has no idea what to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Natalie's flip your goddamn hair, and then the slow-mo.
She does it, yeah. It works perfectly.
So good.
And it just had that man hypnotized. He was just like, but it worked. She was right.
Yeah. And they established they'll be going on a date soon. Thursday, I believe. Her favorite day.
Right. Which was great.
So
she loves
cute.
tickets. Yeah, he asked her to get tickets, and she was like, I love tickets. And
I
that was
love
the date.
tickets.
And that was the date.
Yeah. And there's a beautiful line in there. Like, I think Dylan says, or no, Alex says something like, would you look at that? A man that speaks Natalie.
Yes. I thought that was cute.
I love it. I do want to point out in this movie, because the girls are so stylistically different, right? Like, you have your Powerpuff Girls are so distinct. The men that are partnered for them are also very different, and there's no judgment from the girls. They're just so supportive of each other's separate personal lives. I love it.
Yeah. No, it's very cute. It's great. The one thing I thought that was a little odd about this scene, and I didn't really realize this until a few scenes later, because eventually they do end up going on a date later. Not a lot happens there, but it happens. It does make me wonder. I'm like, wait, how do they know where to meet and when? Because like he didn't ask for her number. And at first I was like, oh, it's 2000, so it doesn't matter. But they definitely do make a point multiple times in this movie where they use their cell phone. Like she uses her cell phone multiple times.
Yes.
You see later.
Yes.
So it's like, it's not like, they could have maybe had a thing if they would have never shown cell phones being a thing in a movie. They could have maybe played it off as like, oh, this movie was in time before. They just made a random call on the payphone and just kept it moving.
Yeah, she looked them up in the phone book.
Right, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But no, they emphasize the cell phone. She never gave him her number or vice versa.
Movie magic, babe.
Movie magic, yeah, exactly. Small nitpick, but I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. I do wonder, like, did she at some point did she follow through, right? She was posing as a waitress. Did she come back in her costume and, like, cash her check at the end of the night? And
like, does she get, that's actually a really funny point. I wonder if that happens in any of these movies, right? Because they do the same bit in almost every spy movie where it's like, oh, I'm going to pretend to be a bartender or a waitress or something like that at this fancy party. And it's like,
she has to split out like her tips.
Yeah, she's like, what the hell? Like, I got tipped way more than the rest of these. Like, what is happening? You're like,
yeah. No, this is great. I love it. So the mission continues, right? Because although Knox is safe, his technology was still stolen. So you still have a reason to continue to go after Corwin, as far as the girls know. So then we get truly so iconic. I love this scene at this drag racing, whatever. I don't even know what you would call it. A drag, where you race cars, a track.
Yeah.
I don't know. The drag racing track. I don't know. Yeah, this scene is so good. The costumes. The girls are in these beautiful blue jumpsuits, like classic Americana colors. I don't understand. I guess Corwin is like a sponsor of this driver who ends up being the creepy thin man, and that's why he's here.
I didn't really.
I don't know how that works.
I didn't really understand it either. I just was kind of like, by this point in the movie, I was like, all right, well, shit's just we're clearly moving through this, so I'm just gonna roll with it. We're moving quickly. Yeah. They're trying to get through this, so hey, I'm with it. Whatever.
Yeah, and Bosley's there posing also as a sponsor.
The one weird thing I did think about this scene, there's two that we'll get to, but the first one, I was like, why is it only these two racers here? Like, why are they on this? Because they're on a giant oval, like it looks almost like a real NASCAR track. Yeah. But it's just two cars and two sponsors, two racers. That's it. There's no
maybe
one.
Maybe 93 million, but they just didn't have that extra couple to
put in. Because even if the other cars or racers didn't actually drive anywhere or do anything, just being there would have made the scene but it doesn't matter. The movie was campy on purpose, and this is part of it. I think you're supposed to look at a lot of these scenes and be like, wait, what? I think that was the whole point.
Yeah. They're there to do a couple of things. So their goal wasn't even to find creepy thin man again. They're there because Dylan is able to love this scene. She seduces Corwin's driver.
Yes.
So she gets in Corwin's car, bold move, but Corwin doesn't know who these girls are. So the fact that she like has a blonde wig on, Dylan has a brunette, almost black hair wig on. I'm like, they don't know who you are, babe. Like, but okay, it fits the look, okay. I guess.
Okay. Yeah, she could have just kept her hair. Why do they all wear? That's a good point. I didn't think about it. Why do they all wear wigs? It's not like they would have. Wait, you know what? Maybe it's because if they didn't, they thought creepy thin man would have recognized them.
You know what? But they don't. It's a shock to them that he's there.
Oh,
But I
so
guess
never
they
mind.
already assume that he is connected to Corwin. So maybe they are thinking like,
I don't think
if
so. I think
he's-
you're thinking more about it than they did. I think.
yeah, probably. I think they just thought like, man, this look would look great with
Yes,
blonde
exactly.
as opposed to.
I like that
yeah.
headcanon better. That one of, for some reason, Drew, because she was gonna talk to Corwin, she put on the wig to make sure he didn't recognize her, and the other two were like, "Well, we want to wear wigs," and so that's what happened.
Yeah, they
That's
all
what
look
happened.
incredible. But Drew, like Dylan, is able to seduce
Dylan.
his driver while Alex plants a camera and like spyware in his personal stuff in the trunk of his car. And Natalie is the one that sees Creepy Thin Man is as a driver for Corwin. And I love this. She's like, I'm gonna fucking track him down. Like she hops in one of the race cars, and so does Creepy Thin Man. And there's this moment where they have like little earpieces, and over the earpiece, Alex tells her like, she says something like, "Oh, it's a round track. He's not going anywhere." And then he
Yeah,
goes
that's a good
off the
point.
track.
To be fair, though, I thought the same thing. At first, I was like, okay, why did he start running? Why did he get in a car and start driving away? Because it's not like she chased him, right? She didn't chase after him until he started running. But then the other thing, I thought the same thing. Bro, you're on a circular track. Where are you going to go? But you're right. Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
But I love Natalie. Natalie's such a wild card. Like you never know what her next move is.
What
So
she's
yeah,
gonna
she
do,
takes
yeah.
up after him. And the 93 million. This is one of those scenes where I'm like,
Yeah, they spent it.
whoever thought of this was just like, what if they have a standoff on a bridge, and then their race cars crash, and Creepy Thin Man ends up in the water.
Yeah,
Cinema.
I didn't
Love it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. That whole thing was great. It at first I was like, huh, but it was like, no, it's fine. This is literally great. It reminded me of like an old school, like I guess would it be in a western or
Yes,
like
in a western
where
they
like
shoot, like-
people,
yeah.
they're on horses and they're gonna. Not the javelin, but like they're on horses and they're gonna not even on horses. No, so I guess there's two versions of it. There's in a western where you're not on horses and you're just like standing across from each other, and then you draw, right?
Yeah.
But then there's also like medieval javelin, like running at each other and knocking each other off. I guess it's a combination of that, but in hella fast race
I have to go
cars.
back and see what music they chose to put over the scene, because the music is so good throughout this movie. Like
Yeah, it was great.
just
yes.
jam packed. Yeah. We breezed over Independent Women, but that happens during the drive-through scene where they are, computer enhanced. Independent Woman is playing in the background. Incredible.
Yes. There's also there's one song that was a little weird in the movie. I'm trying to remember where it happened. Do you remember? It was earlier. We brushed past it. I wish I would have wrote it down, but because we were talking about music choice. All the music worked in this movie except for one.
Okay.
It's gonna. I don't know how to describe it because I'm just gonna say the lyrics are gonna sound insane. There's a song at some point where they're like, "Make me Japanese, make me Japanese. I want to be." I'm being like, you don't remember?
No, but I can take a
Bro.
guess at where they might have squeezed that one in.
I almost gotta. I feel like I gotta. Hold on, I gotta look it up. You can keep going. I'm gonna look it up because I
Okay.
promise you. And I'm like this. I remember hearing it and being like, and the only reason I caught it was I heard it, but then I was like, is that really what they're saying? And I have subtitles playing on what I was watching, and I was like,
Wow.
that's exactly what they said.
Okay. There is one memorable to me needle drop in this movie. Comes much later though. If it didn't speak to you the way it spoke to me, it could just be my fascination with Sam Rockwell in this movie, but we'll get to that in a second. But anyways, yeah, they that scene cuts to them then meeting up again with Knox and Vivian and essentially telling them like, hey, now that we've planted the spyware, we've been able to pull all of this information and we know what we need to have in order to be able to hack the mainframe at Corwin's company. So this is so cute. It's everything, right? Whoever sat at this round table, however the script was put together, they were like, what if just everything all at once, right? Retina scanner, fingerprint ID, floor's lava room for the mainframe, laser beams, like let's just do all of it, all the works. And that's exactly what happens. So this scene is so fast, but the girls essentially, you see them like at their best, right? You see all the girls, these cute little outfits, there's very, very little explanation, but enough for me to be like, yeah, sure, I'm in. How they lift the fingerprint, how they are able to get a copy of the guy's retina with the big tuba scanner thing. We get everything. And we get, so one thing I'm going to pause and say, in order to get the fingerprints, this was straight up brown face.
Yeah, that was definitely real weird. Yeah, I forgot about that one. I guess that's the one
the
you're
girls
talking about.
belly dancing.
Yeah, that was insane. Yeah.
So this one was weird because Dylan, so yeah, Alex and Natalie are dancing, and yes, they're wearing the belly dancing attire. That I guess is not that bad. Dylan is straight up painted a different color.
So because like, again, this is another scenario where these people don't know you, so
exactly.
You don't have to do that.
I don't know, dude. This was one where I was like, I would give anything to be able to like call up Drew Barrymore and be like, how do you feel about that? 26 years later. Any thoughts? Whose idea? Like, who pitched that?
She's like, this was the one regret of my entire career, and I really wish I didn't do that.
I
like
wouldn't.
That one scene.
Well, we're talking about Drew Barrymore. I'm sure she.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that scene was really wild. Also follow through what I said a couple minutes ago. I looked it up. The name of the song is called Twiggy Twiggy. Now it is by a Japanese band, so I guess the song itself isn't that bad, but it's called Twiggy Twiggy, and the lyrics of it is they talk about turning Japanese, and I want to be Japanese, and they play this at the start of the scene where they show up to the red carpet party.
Oh, do you think maybe it's meant to poke fun at Corwin's fascination with Japanese?
I think so. I think that's culture? The whole point of it. Right. I'm not saying it's on them, but I think it's just
in the moment you just felt odd. I'd have to go back and watch that.
It felt real weird. I was like, but I might have also just been thrown off a little bit by the lyrics. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. But either way, I was like, it's a little weird. But that whole scene was kind of strange. Because I think it was in between the sumo scene that comes after it and the massage scene that comes before it, and then there's that. And then I was like, all right, this is a good little 5-minute stretch where I'm a little. There's
a term for that, right? For like white men that are obsessed with Japanese culture.
I would not know what it is.
I know there's a term for it.
Probably is,
yeah. Whatever. We're gonna move on. But yeah, okay. I'll have to go back and listen to that.
Yeah, when you hear, you'll be like, "What the hell?" All right.
No, I know there's a term. Because it's such a. It's whatever. We do get another iconic scene here, which is Alex as a corporate dominatrix.
Yeah, and I love that. That was something.
That was a great. That song was fantastic. Barracuda for her in her tight black patent leather.
It was insane. She had 40 men in it. So just to paint a picture, there's some weird corporate office they're in, right?
Corwin's office.
Well, I said it was a corporate office, but yeah, they're in Corwin's office or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's I don't know, at least 40 men who are employees in there, and she all has them on a leash like this, quite literally, clinging on every one of her words, every move she makes, every time she twitches, they do, it's insane. And she has this weird staff. It looks like a staff, but it makes a whipping sound every time she whips it. And she
that
smacks.
She then cracks.
Yeah, and before that she smacks a couple of them with them and at first I was like, is she hitting him with it? But yeah, because one of the guys was like, ouch, and it's so she smacked him with it, but then she kept smacking the table with it, and they're flinch. They're clearly afraid, but then when she gets up and leaves the room, they're all chasing, they. Yeah, it's insane. I was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, and the purpose of her even being there as this corporate baddie, right? A training seminar almost, it seems, is so that Dylan and Natalie, who are dressed in boy drag, love that, can sneak in and they can access the mainframe, right? Where we get just a fun sequence of events, Natalie in a full white suit so that she can be invisible to the cameras in this fully white room. Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. I also thought that. Okay. I'm glad you also said that because she said it both in the rundown and when it was actually happening. She was like, the only way through this room is to make yourself invisible, and she just puts on a white jumpsuit, and I'm like, sure, it's a little harder to see. Yeah. Some
like maybe putting something in front of the camera.
Something. Yeah. I picture some kind of cloaking technology, or whatever. It's just a white suit. White,
and we get to see her in like a very skin tight white
and
suit.
it's like, and I'm like, okay, I guess if I'm a security guard, and I'm there at like 3 a.m. reviewing the footage, and I'm like half asleep, okay, maybe I don't notice it, but otherwise, I'm like, I think you can see that. I think they can see you, but it's okay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's okay. I did mention, like, when you think about the movies that came right before this, you have the James Bond movies, late 1990s. You have Mission Impossible around the same time. The Matrix. The outfits. You can see the influence of all of these like spy movies on this movie in particular. I just love it. I think it's such a fun, like, oh yeah, they did it, so we're gonna do it, but we're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna just be goofy, and why not put her in a fully white outfit to evade the cameras here? Like,
it was so silly. I love it, and it was just for that one room. Like, they very clearly didn't have to do it. They didn't have to do it because she took that outfit off and put on a different one. I think in the next one, didn't she?
Probably. Like, there's so many outfit changes. Yeah, I'm sure she. Yeah.
She just didn't have to do it.
So good.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we get this weird. This is like the first instance where I think the movie deliberately wants you to catch on to something being off about Vivian specifically, because when they bring this information back to Knox and Vivian, they say, okay, we were able to break into Corwin's mainframe and steal whatever I don't even know, but they've handed that over to Bosley and Charlie because they are going to review and make sure that they don't have any of Knox's technology or wipe it from their system or whatever the excuse is. And Vivian says, oh, well, we wanted access to Corwin's data, like his company's tech. And you have Alex, who's the one who's like sort of eyeing her a little funny and says something like, well, that would be unethical for us to give you that.
Yep.
And they then speak. My subtitles just said like a different language. It didn't specify what language, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, mine didn't even give me a language. Mine just it stayed. It was so weird. I was like, oh, I know what you're talking about. They start speaking. Is it
something
supposed
else?
To be? Yeah, some other language. And
to each other, and presumably they're. I don't even know if I got subtitles for it at all. Did you?
I didn't get that's what I was saying. Okay. My screen say blank. I didn't get subtitles for it, and I was like,
yeah. But presumably, what's happening is Alex is saying like something feels off here.
Yeah.
And it seems like Natalie's seconding that opinion. Like, yeah, something about Vivian here feels a little fishy. But it's Dylan who says like it's okay, and she's looking at Knox throughout this.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I argue that because we've seen Dylan with the Chad, Knox here being this geeky, like nerdy tech guy is her type, right? He's a little awkward. Yeah. His clothes are a little whatever. I think if he was being himself, which we later see, Dylan would have never been into him.
Yeah,
but so I don't hold this against her. I'm like, she's a girl. She's seeing this very cute. And something about Sam Rockwell just does it for me. Not even here yet fully. Like, he's cute here. He becomes hot later to me. But she kind of blows it off. She's like, it's fine. Like, whatever she says in her own language, right? And then we cut to Knox's home. This house, if you told me 50 million of that $93 million budget went to this house, worthwhile investment.
100%. Yeah.
Loved this. It reminds me of the Kim Possible intro. Like, you see a shot of their house in Kim Possible, and it's like this very angular house that seems to be like off a cliff almost. That's what this house reminds me of. Like, just bringing this like this magical drawing to life for me. It's so good. It was
gorgeous. Yeah, it felt like, and there were parts of it that felt like a penthouse, and that kind of vibe, like super just rich people LA vibes is honestly what it felt like.
Looking at it now, I'm like, oh, this is so like visually a a evil person lair, like a bad guy
Yes.
lair.
Yes,
But you don't know it
yes.
in the moment. You just assume
Nope.
like, oh well, he's obviously a wealthy dude, so he has a beautiful home. And it's like, no, he's a bad guy. But anyway, Dylan goes back to his home on the premise, whatever, that she's clearing it to make sure he's safe.
Yes.
You know, there's a very cute, like, we get a little bit of her backstory where she says, you know, her father like dipped out on her when she was very young. Knox makes a comment about, you know, oh, your father was absent throughout your life and now you work for a man that you've never met.
Valid point.
Shady
He
bitch.
kind of ate with that. He kind of
You
ate with
shady
that. Though.
fucker.
He kind of ate with that. I ain't gonna lie. Dylan's my favorite, but he kind of ate with that. I was like, damn.
See,
got you, girl.
because then when he tells her, when she notices the picture frame and he's like, yeah, that's my dad and his best friend who killed him, who betrayed him and killed him while they were
Yeah.
off at war. I would have had to, like, I would have been like, so you also have a dead dad. At least my dad went away. Your dad fucking died.
My
Like,
dad
I
was
would've
never
had
there.
to-
Well, he probably would have responded and be like, well, at least I got to know my dad a little bit. You never knew yours. Yours just fucking dipped. Like, early. Whereas, like, at least mine was around for I don't know. I think either way
I would have
don't think
had
you
to
wanna
have said
play that
something
game.
back.
I don't think you want to play that game because you lose either way. It just
Yeah,
becomes
yeah,
very
yeah.
sad. And also, in that moment, again, they're trying to, like, seduce each other, I think.
I guess I could have
And-
been like, well, I have a father figure. Like, Charlie is still my dad. And you have nobody. You have a dead daddy in a picture frame, and that's it. I would have had to have said something.
That would have hurt so bad.
But the
That would have
point
been
is,
bad.
I have two daddies. I got Bosley and I have Charlie.
Claiming Bosley as your dad is insane work. Like, that's insane work. That man is
I would have had
not
to have
fit to
done
be a father.
something.
Yeah.
But yes, Natalie is clearly there because she finds him very attractive, and he also finds her attractive. They hook up. At the same time that this is happening, we're getting scenes of the other two girls. So we see Natalie on her date with Pete.
Yep.
They go to Soul Train.
What? Yeah. That's not insane. That's not an exaggeration. They literally go to Soul Train as if it's a. I was under the impression that Soul Train was like a TV show that was shot that like had people there and stuff. I didn't think it was just a freaking club you could just
club?
show up to. Yeah, just show. Hey, I'm here at Soul Train because the actual Soul Train again was like. It was
Yeah,
kinda
yeah,
like
yeah.
music, TV. You know, people will get on stage.
Do you
and
think it
dance and
could
stuff,
be
but,
one of those
like,
things where, like, you know, we had the Coyote Ugly movie, and then there's a Coyote Ugly bar in Austin?
Yes, I would have. Yeah, I guess it could be like that. That's the way it's framed, so I guess it has to be
Yeah.
like that, right? Like it has to be because otherwise this makes zero sense. I
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
put in my notes like, why was it Soul Train? I didn't really get it, but
Yeah. And then Alex and Jason, weird. We get like a fake out where he's filming a movie and it looks like he's talking to Alex
yes,
and he proposes to her and then she gets shot like in the back, just
yeah,
murdered.
insane. Yeah, insane. Yeah,
And he holds her and he like shouts out to the sky and then you realize,
Yeah.
oh my God, they're filming. Like this is clearly not real. But then it does cut to Alex, the real Alex, getting attacked in his trailer, right? Like wherever he's filming.
Yeah, literally in his trailer. Yep, it just gets drove
Yeah.
by, shot up, like
Yeah.
bullet holes everywhere. Crazy.
So Alex is attacked and Natalie also gets attacked. She I thought it was cute. I mean, you know, she's like such an awkward dancer, but she has so much fun that people kind of just vibe with her anyway.
And they're like, all right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, her date's going well, but then she goes to the restroom for a moment and she gets attacked there as well. And that's all happening while we know that Dylan is at Knox's house getting it on.
Yeah.
All three things happening at the same time. And at the same time, this exact same sequence of events, Vivian has showed up at Bosley's apartment or home to seduce him. This is where you get that scene of Bill Murray like running into the wall or something.
Yeah, yes, exactly. This whole
Yeah,
thing is
yeah.
so. I like how in this part he tries to kind of like hold it together, keep it professional. Where he's like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, we need to keep a professional relationship, and she kind of panics for a second and she looks around because I think she thinks in her head this is going to be easier than he's you know, like he doesn't expect her to resist. And
Yeah,
so
good guy
at this
Bosley.
point, right? But he's like, no, dude, you kind of need to keep professional, and he's like backing away from her. And for a second, she just reaches over. And she's like, can I get some champagne? Like, he has champagne sitting there, and she just like asked for it, and he's like, oh, I get the glass, because I guess in his head he knows once alcohol's introduced, this is a wrap. Like, we're fucking, it's a wrap. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
I don't know.
Which feels out of character for Vivian a little bit. We also get a scene of creepy Thin Man approaching or tracking down Corwin.
Yeah.
So all of this is happening all at the same time. I love
It's a
it.
lot,
Like,
yeah.
give me the whole story all at once. But you kind of have to because
Yeah.
you get a reveal here. Like, this is the twist, right? The movie sort of takes a turning point here where you realize. So Natalie's the one who technically learns first, or reveals, uncovers this whole thing. The guy that attacks her, she manages to like pin him against a wall, and she's like demanding, like, who sent you? And he says, Vivian.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. So for Natalie, it clicks like, oh my God, Vivian was the one that purposefully had Knox kidnapped. She doesn't think yet that Knox is in on it.
She just knows
thinks
Vivian is the, and it kind of makes sense because they were already a little suspicious of Vivian. So it's like, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then in hindsight, watching like that scene where, you know, the girls reveal to Knox and Vivian, like, we have we were able to hack the mainframe for Corwin's company. Vivian is very like pushy, like almost revealing her hand a little too much.
Oh, for
and
sure.
Knox is playing it so well. Knox is
Yes.
like, well, I mean, if Charlie has it, like, what's the problem? I'm sure he'll
Let's
reveal
chill.
it. And,
Yeah.
So good. So good.
He does that all the way up until his literal reveal, though. Like,
Absolutely.
even because in one of the next couple scenes we see kind of his reveal where, you know, Vivian shows up to their place where him and old girl were having sex at.
Yes.
And, you know, she has a gun and she's like, yo, like, jig's up, what you gonna do? And the girl's sitting there still in her, Drew Barrymore's character, Dylan, is sitting there in her like bed sheet, basically.
So good. I did mention this. I want to throw up this picture real quick.
Yes.
I was telling Dominic, I've seen this movie so many times. This watch, I realized that is a full-on dress. She looks like she's clutching bed sheets the way that like any demure girl would after having, you know, after the intimate act, right?
Yeah.
It's a dress. Like, it's a style. It's a wrap dress. It's stunning. She looks great. She looks fantastic. And her hair's all tousled. They have like these weird little curls thrown in her hair. But yes, she gets a phone call right before from Natalie, I think maybe from both girls, like the conference call that tells them, like, you know, they tell Dylan, we've just been attacked. Natalie says Vivian is in on it. Like, Vivian has set this whole thing up. So when Vivian shows up at Knox's house, my poor girl Dylan is still thinking, like, she tries to warn Knox with the Scrabble board.
Yeah.
Oh, it breaks my heart.
Hey, enemy. She draws out enemy because she tries to let him know. And he's like, yeah, I know. I already knew. And then he kisses her again. And I'm like, okay. And so, yeah, eventually, you know, we realize that him and Vivian are the bad guys. It's like, oh, poor thing. And she's heartbroken. It's kind of tough. She takes it like a champ, though. I'd probably be sobbing.
She really does.
I would, if it was me in that situation, like the person I just had sex with pulls a gun on me, I'd be crying. Oh, I'd be sobbing. I would be like,
man, this is why your dad's dead.
Exactly. Like, I could not handle it. I'd be like, man, shoot me. I don't got shit to live for no more. This sucks. Like, shoot me. Like, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But he shoots her out of a window.
Does the classic cliche of like the villain revealing his entire plan. Like, he tells her exactly what he tells her, like, oh, I'm after Charlie.
Yes.
And creepy Thin Man also shows up. We see him here briefly, so it's like, oh my God, this whole thing has been a setup from the beginning.
A ruse. Yeah, the only only weird bad guy who wasn't here was I forgot his name. The creepy guy from the massage place earlier in the party.
Corwin, yeah, Corwin's the only one who wasn't here. At this point, so he's been murdered.
Yes, Corwin has been murdered.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. We see that in one of the scenes leading up to him, and that's what I was talking about earlier. I was like, did he really deserve it? Like, I know he had a little bit of like creepy bad guy karma, but not that much. But whatever.
Yeah. It's But then we see I love this. We see like it does like that reverse like where you see the whole scene play back.
Yeah.
To the moment where Dylan is shot, and we get to see that she's shot, but she dodges the bullet. She moves faster than the bullet, and jumps back
into the
window. Into the window. Yeah. So it looks like the bullet has shot her and launched her body through the window. The bed sheet dress that was wrapped around her gets caught on like the glass, so she's hanging from there when the bad guys, Vivian, Knox, Creepy Thin Man, all dip out, and she's hanging there. She eventually like rolls down the mountain, ends up in the backyard of some kid's house who are talking. These little boys are playing video games, and one of them's like, yeah, I've seen boobies before, and he's like, I just don't believe it. And she shows up with like completely naked, right?
Yep.
With a pool float covering her. She's like, help me. Just cute. Just a cute little.
It was really cute, and it's funny that was your interpretation on the like her moving fast enough to dodge a bullet when you because when I watched it earlier, I saw they showed like him shooting in a bullet. It looked like he just missed. Like they showed the bullet shooting. Okay. I guess maybe it was supposed to be her, but it didn't look like she made like one of these movements or anything.
Gotcha.
It looked like she was there. He just missed. I guess she gambled that he was gonna miss, so she just jumped out the window, or maybe she knew he was a bad shot. I don't know. But it was so obvious that he just missed that I thought it was a double reveal, double turn. I honestly thought in my head when I was watching, so you know how a few minutes earlier where she's like, that's an enemy, on the scout board, and he's like, I know, and he kisses her, and then he reveals himself. That whole thing was so awkward. I was expecting, they're working together against Vivian, but
he's changed his mind here. Ugh.
Well, I thought it was a double reveal. Like they both realized together that Vivian is like, or he's pretending the whole time to be working with Vivian, but he pretends to double cross Dylan, only to double cross Vivian later. That's what I thought was gonna happen. That's not what happens. He just straight up missed the shot, but he missed it so, like he missed it so obviously. I was like, that was part of the plan. I'm gonna you jump out the window. I have to make this look good, but I don't want to actually hurt you. But no, he just fucking missed.
Maybe it was one of those things where like he was being guided by his heart. Like his heart knew he didn't want to kill Dylan.
Maybe.
You never know. I love Sam Rockwell. I would have loved that. But him as a bad guy is when I would argue, along with I'm sure many women out there, he's at his hottest.
You think so?
Incredible. Yeah, we cut to so this whole thing happens, right? The girls do reunite eventually. Dylan is able to secure like a dirt bike or something from the boys and their clothes. She shows up in like these little boy clothes, like a t-shirt and some like swim trunks or whatever.
I love the idea that she's real quick. I love the idea that she's somehow skinny enough to wear like 10-year-old boy clothing. It's like, okay.
Yeah. And it's baggy on her. Like it's just so cute.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
Yeah, they meet up at Townsend Agency, like where they usually meet up for their spy missions and stuff. And someone's planted a bomb here, so the whole building up in flames. They sort of reveal like their intel to each other, like what they know, right?
Yeah.
And Dylan is able to tell the other girls like actually Knox is in on it. This has been a thing from the start, right? Very weird. Yeah. So they decide. Oh wait, did I miss? Yeah. So they also realize that Bosley's been captured by Vivian, right? Because that was the whole point of Vivian going over to Bosley's to seduce him. They want him as well. So through the rubble, and I love this because I'm like, of course, right? Somehow in the rubble, there's a speaker. And Bosley has a little like radio thing in the back of his tooth. I don't know.
Yeah, that was from the very first like mission they were on, or maybe the second mission or something.
Corwin's party.
Because I guess everyone else took it's exactly what you said. It's a radio tooth. Like you put it in your mouth and you can talk to each other, communicator. And I guess everyone else took theirs out except him because
he's just an idiot.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're able to communicate with him through the speaker, and he tells them, I've been captured. He says something funny like this feels like the first day of the last days of my life or something.
Oh my god.
So
yeah.
awkward.
And it's like, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, but we see this very cute moment from Natalie, who is able to decipher.
Yeah.
Because the girls are like, well, you know, if we can hear him from the speaker, then, you know, the tooth radio transmitter, it's like a 20-mile radius. And he tells the girls, I'm in a tower and it sounds like I can hear water. And they're like, well, you know, if he's off the coast, but within a 20-mile radius, he could be anywhere. Like it's not specific enough. And he's like, I see a bird, and he looks out the window and this bird makes a noise, and Natalie immediately is like, it's a pygmy nuthatch. They only live in one place, Carmel. So cute. That entire the girls are like, yeah,
cute.
Okay,
like, if we got no other leads, all right, you say so.
Sure. And of course Alex is able to like track down like, okay, Carmel, these are the properties on Carmel Island. And one of them is owned by a company whose name is like an anagram for Knox, whatever. Just a cute, like they gave us 2 seconds of it and that was all I needed. And the girls are off. They're on their way to rescue Bosley. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. But okay, so we get the Chad back, which we didn't mention the Chad earlier. But this is a guy that Dylan was hooking up with from the beginning.
One of the best characters in the movie, genuinely. One of my favorite, like probably top 3. One of my top 3 favorite characters, easy.
Yeah, when we first meet Dylan, she wakes up, she's on a boat, and the Chad is cooking breakfast for her.
Yeah,
and she has
I thought was sweet. It was cute. Yeah.
It was very sweet. It was very sweet. But all the girls are being called by Charlie back to the agency. So she tells him like, I gotta go. And he says something like, was it me? Was it the egg?
Well, so what he says first is, because everything looks good. He's like, oh, you know, you want some eggs? And then he says something. He's like, do you want some eggs? And then do you want to kind of imply like they go again or have sex again, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But he says something on a wordplay on his name, something with the Chad. And then she hears it. And when you see her face, it kind of looks like she's down. But at first, or at least that's how I read it. But then, you know, she gets a call and she's like, oh, sorry, gotta go. And it kind of sounds like she's being a little sarcastic.
I think he asked like, was it the Chad? And she goes, it was maybe the Chad.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. He asked, was it the eggs? She's like, no. He's like, was it the Chad? She's like, it was maybe the Chad. And I was like, aw. And I think I don't know. I thought it was so funny that a character can be so full of himself to call himself his own name with the in front of it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time be kind of insecure because the girl he's hooking up with didn't want to stay for breakfast the next morning. Like it's like those
very cute.
It's amazing. He like the confidence and insecurity all at the same time wrapped up into one mustached man.
And then does he have a mustache?
I'm pretty sure he has a mustache. I think he has a mustache.
Okay. He's just like a very thin guy, kind of dorky looking, which again, I think is why she's into Knox when she thinks he's like this geeky tech guy.
And the implication that, again, he doesn't have a house or an apartment. It seems like he just lives on this boat. Yeah, he lives on this boat. Which is...
so when the girls realize that Bill Murray, Bosley is being hidden in Carmel, and they're like, the only way to get there, water access. And they don't know how to do that. And she calls up the Chad to like get them as close. Drive? Yeah, you drive a boat. Yeah, to get them as close to this island.
Yeah.
So good. And I think when I don't know how she pitched it to him. If she said like, oh, I want you to take my friends out on the boat, but eventually they have to like put on some snorkeling gear and hop off the boat and get to the island. And he's like, wait, where are you guys going?
I don't think she told him that part because
I don't think she did either.
I guess she probably told him like, hey, I want to hang out again, but on your boat, but I'm bringing my friends.
Because probably.
Yeah. Oh.
But then they actually.
My ring light. That's funny.
But then they actually I love it because this is a moment. Yeah, we get a call back, right? He with this the saddest face, he goes, was it the Chad? And she goes, no, the Chad was great, or something. And she puts her snorkeling gear on and dips, and he's like, yeah, the Chad was great.
Do you think I'm just thinking about this now, stupid of me, was the Chad supposed to be a like an analogy for sex, like his penis. Like, you know what I mean?
You don't
Like
think his
that's
name
why.
is Chad?
No, I think it is. I think it is all together.
Oh,
His
you think
name's
he's also referring
Chad.
to
Maybe
the
like
Chad?
hey, like hey, was the sex good? Maybe that's why you didn't. Because I think that's why his feeling. Maybe that's why his feelings are so hurt the first time. Because he's just
Okay.
like, oh, dude,
I love
like,
that.
Was it not
I love
good?
that idea.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't
I
good.
love that.
And then
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, I mean, maybe. You know, like,
Yeah.
oh no.
The Chad was great. Love it. Love him. Love that he comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the
Reliable.
girls do get to Carmel, and we have a beautiful scene of them like stripping the scuba gear. Do you wear nothing under scuba gear?
Never been scuba
Yeah,
diving.
fuck if
I
I
don't know.
know. Same.
I would think so
but they
because
don't have anything
the
under.
scuba because yeah, that's great. By the way, scene's great. Them just undressing
Like a
from the
bathing
scuba.
suit.
Maybe I feel like the scuba gear is so tight that like if you wear anything under it,
Mm.
it's gonna feel. So maybe nothing.
Yeah, it's great though. And then somehow they have like super dry clothes to put on, just in a backpack.
Yeah,
Sure.
spy shit. You know.
Spy shit. Yeah. And they split here, and this is what I wrote, right? Because I was like, okay, this is another instance where like the girls kind of like, and then we get 3 different things happening, 4 if we count Bosley, at the same time. Dylan says straight up, I'm gonna go deal with Knox, right? A girl on a
Yeah.
mission, and I love that. She's like, you made me look. First of all, you made that shady comment about my deadbeat dad,
Yeah.
and then you fucking shot me out of a window, right? So she's like, I'm gonna go take care of
Personal.
Knox.
Yes.
Alex says, I'm gonna go to the roof to tap the signal. No idea what that means. Love it, babe. You go do
I
you.
don't understand what that means either until she starts doing it. Then I'm like, okay, but even then, I don't really
Yeah.
know what she's supposed to be doing.
Well, I think maybe at this point she figures out that they're after Charlie, like that they're gonna use the tech from Corwin satellites,
Right.
and then Knox's voice identification to track down Charlie. So if she can track down Charlie first, then she could
Is
go
that
and
the
like, save
implicate-
him.
Really, I thought I understood tap the signal as a way of like maybe we can intercept the
Stop
signal
it?
and like
Oh
stop
yeah,
it.
that too.
Because
That
she
too.
also freaks out. She freaks out once at some point later on. They see like it shows on the computer that like, hey, we found the signal. Like it shows him in that
Yeah.
little house or whatever. So, but again, I don't really. I'm wondering what because it didn't seem like it seemed like the computer she was using was kind of just monitoring the phone call and showing where he is, but it didn't really. Like I don't know what the plan was. Like if she would have been able to, she gets interrupted while she's trying to do what she's doing, so we really never know.
Yeah.
She gets interrupted with the fight, but it seemed like I don't know what the point of this was.
I don't know. I guess Alec had to do something, right? So
Aw,
go on, girl.
It is so
go
crazy
piss, girl.
because
Go to the roof.
yeah, but she's
Tap
like
the
the
signal.
most capable one. Yeah, yeah.
She really is. And Natalie, our sweetheart, is like, I'm gonna go find Bosley. Just so cute.
I love this. Yeah, I love this part.
Yeah.
Because
and then we get, and I cannot stress this enough. First of all, we get a needle drop here. I think the needle drop
Yes.
of the movie. Simon
Yes.
says,
Mm-hmm.
and we get Sam Rockwell. Oh my god. Okay. I'm like blushing. This is so
oh, it's okay.
A
I
couple
was
of
blushing
things.
for like half the movie while I was watching, so it's cool.
this is
Not-
my
not-
moment. One, Sam Rockwell dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Love that it's just part of his character. Like as a bad guy, he's a smooth talker, smooth dancer.
Mm-hmm.
Sipping a Coke. I don't know if you noticed that. A can of Coke. Coca-Cola.
I didn't.
And I'm a
I didn't
Coke
notice that.
Well, I'm a big fan of Coke. I like Coca-Cola.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hair pushed back because it was messy and the weird like middle part thing. No, this is pushed back. Your hair looks sexy pushed back. Smoking a cigarette. Everything about this,
Oh gosh.
every time I lose my mind. It's so good. I can't even wrap my head around everything about this. Is if you've never seen this movie, please just do me a favor and Google, like go to YouTube and just type in Sam Rockwell, Charlie's Angels. I'm sure it'll pop up. It's so good. It is so good. I'm so sad that he doesn't make it to the end of the movie, but it is what it is. Bad guy. I am who I am. And I didn't mention this earlier, and I know you're gonna have strong opinions against this. I think the creepy thing man is attractive too. I don't know why. I know he's ugly. There's something about him ripping the girl's hair out and keeping
And
it as treasures
sniffing it?
that he's sniffing. I'm sorry. I am who I am.
You know what? I'm not gonna kink shame. I'm not gonna kink shame. It's clearly some kind of like kinky BDSM thing, whatever. I'm not gonna kink shame.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I guess so.
It's just.
I don't live
yeah.
in that world, so I wouldn't know. But hey, more power to you.
Love it. But yes, this whole breaking Bosley out, the girls all sort of go on their separate fights. We see Dylan against a bunch of guys until she beats them all, very weird, and then makes it to Nox. We see Alex fighting Vivian, and we see Alex fighting Creepy Thin Man, and we see Natalie fighting Vivian. And you mentioned like her cell phone. This is so cute. She's on the phone with Pete trying to set up another date.
And it's
the whole
great.
time. And then Vivian is able to like kick the phone out of her hand. And
Yeah.
she's like, hey, I really like that guy.
Yeah, well, she picks it up exactly. She picks it up, and after she kicks it, and she's like, "Is this the famous Charlie?" And the guy's like, "No, I'm Pete." And he sounds so confused, and I love that line. It's so perfect. He's like, "No, I'm Pete."
This is Patrick.
Yeah, exactly. It feels very much like This Is Patrick. Exactly. Yes, it's ridiculous, and that's where she gets all mad. Like, I really like that guy. I'm a little sad because after this, we don't see. I would have loved to see like a little something with like her and Pete, kind of like. But no, I think we never see him again. So it seems safe to say they never find each other again. Which
I'm trying to think
sucks.
about. It's been a minute since I've seen Full Throttle.
Maybe he makes a comeback there.
He comes back. I'd have to look into it. Yeah.
And
Full Throttle is not. I would recommend this movie to anybody and everybody. Full Throttle, not so much.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. We can talk about that another time.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
But yes, they're able to find Bosley. They're able to break him out, and then they all win their fights in their own right. But Nox does get away. He gets away on a helicopter, which is so like.
Yeah.
Of course, you needed a helicopter scene, right? If you're pulling references for all these spy movies,
Yes,
you needed
exactly.
this. You need him flying off.
In a helicopter. Got to. Yep.
He gets off in a helicopter. He already has Charlie's location because he was able to get him on the phone. He thought he was calling Bosley, and Charlie doesn't know that Nox is a bad guy yet, so he's divulging more information than he should be. He gets his location. It's so good. And then Bosley, who has been liberated by Natalie at this point, shows up in a car and whisks the girls away, and so they are able to follow the helicopter. Sure.
Oh yeah. They grab on. Yep. They're just hanging on by a thread on the helicopter. Yep.
And I think it's Alex who shoots like a bow and arrow.
Yes. Exactly.
At the helicopter. They scale it. Someone is in charge of like unplugging some shit. The missile, like a full missile that he's launched at Charlie's house, is rerouted back to the helicopter.
Well, it's because they were able to break into the computer system on the helicopter that's underneath it, I guess. And like, I mean, I can't talk shit because I'm like, I've never been in a helicopter. I don't know how they work. Maybe that is how the missiles in helicopters work. You could just hack it from underneath it. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But they essentially blow up the helicopter with Nox in it.
Yeah. I like how they
you hate
did you
to
catch
see a
it?
baddie go.
Did you catch it? They tried to save him. Because I forgot one of the girls.
I know Dylan like wants to go back for him. I didn't realize it was to try and save him.
Yeah, so it's confusing because I can't remember which of the other two girls, but they tell Dylan like, "Oh, the missile's coming back here. We gotta go get Sam Rockwell's character. Go get him." And so she goes in, and it cuts to her just punching the shit out of him. But I think the reason they say that is not like, hey, because it wouldn't make sense to be like, hey, beat him up some more before he's about to be blown up anyway. I think the whole point is they want to save him, but I guess she just is beyond consumed with rage, and she just
it would be too.
Well, I get it. He made fun of your deadbeat dad. I get it, but like,
And also, like, it just felt a little, well,
they also had sex once, so that was messed up.
Yeah.
Like,
so that was messed up.
Yeah, they had sex once and he turned.
So you know what? Let that
missile
hit him.
But if that was the plan and let it anyway, yeah, it was a little confusing to me. But I think they were supposed to try and save him. They didn't. They just jump out, and of course he gets blown to bits, and that's that.
Yeah, and that's that. And then we have a beautiful little wrap up scene with the girls on the beach. Mm-hmm. It seems like because the Charlie's Townsend agency has been blown up, they're rebuilding. That's the vibe I got. So they have a little bit of downtime here.
Yeah. Yep.
Love it. They're all on the beach. They're all like, it's all giggles.
Yeah.
Bosley's there. They're sipping coconut, like Buddha coconut drinks. Just so cute.
Yeah.
There's a moment where Dylan sort of looks back and she notices an older man standing on the beach, like talking into a cell phone. And we do get a pan of like the shot from his perspective. So there's like, is this Charlie? Is he watching over the girls here? But he obviously, you know, over the phone says something like, we're rebuilding the agency bigger and better than before. And they're like, come on, Charlie, like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, because they didn't get to, when they rescued him, like in the scene prior, he was gone. He had already left the house that the missile was about to hit. So yeah, I just love this ending. It's just so fun. It's such a sweet little like wrap up.
Yes, I also thought
and then we cut to like a blooper reel.
Yes. I'm not gonna lie. Shame on me. I had to get up and get my day started, so I paused it right there and did not watch the blooper reel. Maybe I go back and watch it later. Did I miss anything like super notable from it?
No, it really is like a true blooper reel. Like there's a moment where you see like Alex like shooting the bow and arrow at the helicopter and like the thing kind of like falling back in her face, and there's like Drew Barrymore falling off of Sam Rockwell. Like it's just the cute little like, you know.
Okay. I'll check it out later. I'll check it out.
It's cute and it's short. Yeah.
That is
that's probably where I'll rip like I'll try to include like pictures with the character names so you have like a visual to go along with the video. But yeah, we get like really cute like the character and then like their little name, like the actor name.
Yep.
Cute stuff.
Yeah, it is cute. But yeah, the one thing I'll say before we kind of wrap up the review is, what did you in I know that's the whole point, right? So this is gonna sound very, very stupid. But was there a part of you that thought, okay, I'm trying to think of the best way to frame this. They get into some shit in this movie, and each one of them almost dies, and like the vehicle they're going to, and like the house they try, or the building walk, like they almost get blown up like 3 separate times, like a horrible fiery death 3 separate times, get beat up over and over. Not really, they win their fights, but still they have to go through fights and get punched a couple times, whatever, and almost die multiple times each because a man has a vendetta with the man that they work for that they don't actually know. They don't know him. They know his name to be Charlie and Rockwell, I think, right? Townsend. Charlie Townsend. Yep. They have an idea, I guess, of where he could be located at, but they've never seen him. They really don't know much about his background except he was in the military, so on and so forth, right? Basically, they have to go through all this shit because they follow their boss's directions, which makes sense. He's their boss, but they didn't know that who he was or like his background or anything. So then at the end, when they, you know, they're damn near begging, but in a cutesy way, like, come on, Charlie, like, let us at least see your face or something. And he's like, no. Do you think it's a little strange? Like, would you, if you were in their situation, would you want to continue working for after you almost died multiple times because of it? Would you want to continue working for a man who won't even show you who he is? At least like show up to introduce himself. And I know that's the whole point. Whatever. It's not a super big thing, but I was just like, it seems like the movie kind of is telling us that that's one of the lessons that they should learn, and I don't think they do.
Well, so this Charlie's Angel movie is like, there was a whole show in the 70s, right?
Okay, right.
And it felt almost like one of those things that the show like hitched its wagon to, which was Charlie is a faceless throughout the whole series. Of course, for sure. So I think it's unfortunately something that they kind of have to commit to. Like, you can't blow that. Yeah, you can't blow that on out.
Of course.
Or maybe even ever. Like, that's sort of, to me, it also feels like the girls understand. Some part of them understands that like they still understand a bit of enough of Charlie's character to trust him.
Okay.
Without necessarily having to see him the way that they see Bosley or interact with Bosley. Yeah. I know we like maybe Bosley not a father figure, but I do think of Charlie as a father figure here.
That's fair. And like I said, I understand that's literally the whole point of Charlie's Angels. You can't, I know realistically they couldn't just be like, hey, I'm here, girls. Like, what's up? Like, I know they can't do that, but there's a part of me that I was wondering, like, I would be at least a little skeptical. Like, it'd be like, all right, I guess I'll trust you, but I'm looking at you a little sideways.
Yeah. I'd be curious to, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll watch the old TV show, because how did he even find these girls? Like, I always wondered, if he like recruited them, if he was like keeping up with them, because that might be part of why they have so much trust in him. If he just approached them like, hey, I see you, I acknowledge your capabilities, and maybe you're they're not being used to their full extent at whatever they were doing before they were doing this.
Yeah, I think they did imply something even in this movie that, like, hey, these girls have these gifts or whatever, and but either way, yeah, that was just a little thought that I was thinking of, but that was Charlie's Angels. Like I said, I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would, admittedly. It's definitely worth a watch for sure. I watched it on Apple TV, but it's also available to rent on Amazon Prime TV, Prime TV, Prime Video. Yeah, my bad. Prime Video, Apple TV. Yeah, just an old movie you can rent for like $3 or $4, and definitely worth a good afternoon watch. Like I said, not super long. Like, if you don't include the credits, a tight 90 for sure.
Love it. I recommend it big time. We talked about recommendations in the last video. Powerpuff Girls is up there if you like Charlie's Angels.
Yes.
I also think Totally Spies is still one that, if you haven't seen the show, I don't think I've seen the Totally Spies movie, but it's one that
I haven't seen the movie either, but I've seen the show. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, love it.
Thought it was a funny joke.
Do you think we could name it the Chad
for this week? Yeah, sure. This is the Chad. Yeah, this is the Chad. This week's segment is called The Chad, and this is going to be a wheel that we spin to decide what movie we're going to watch and review for next week's episode. So if you made it this long,
if you were here for the last episode, for our first episode, we did Supergirl, which is still in theaters as of us filming this video. And then we did a little bit of a throwback. We went Charlie's Angel. So this time around, and we can't guarantee that this will be the case moving forward, but this time we wanted to go back to the theaters for our next episode. We're theater people. I'm a theater person. I'm
also
AMC
a theater person. Love going to the theaters.
Has my heart and soul. So we're going to keep this short and sweet.
I'm excited for this
our
one.
wheel.
I'm excited.
I'm going to let you guys look at our selections. Let me get a little close here. This is our wheel.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is it centered? Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah, this is our wheel for this week. I know what I want from this wheel. I know Dominic and I may disagree. I also know that Dominic accused me of rigging this wheel last week.
Yes.
So I'm going to keep the base in frame.
Especially after last time I went through and did some editing, I was like, could have sworn I seen you grab it, but it's okay. Yeah, put it perfectly in frame, the base and the frame on there where we can see it up a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, right here.
Yep, right there. Yep. Spin it and let's see what it gets.
I'm going to show you guys some of the, if you can't see, because some of them are upside down. These are our options. Sorry, I'm a little bit away from the mic.
Let's do this.
So, y'all ready? Here's the base. I'm not touching anything. Ready?
Spin that Chad. Oh shit! Okay, so with that, okay, our winner is The Odyssey. Next week, The Odyssey. Yes. So tune in next week. We will be reviewing The Odyssey. So it comes again. We're filming this a couple days before The Odyssey actually hits theaters, but I'm gonna try and see it like as soon as possible. This weekend, more than likely.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't this? I mean, if I'm being honest, this feels like the type of movie people have been anticipating all year, right? From Tom Holland. Like, what else could you possibly be looking forward to? So good. I'm so excited.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I can't wait. So, but for real, The Odyssey coming next week. Tune in. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell your friends about it. We are on Spotify. We are on YouTube. So make sure you check us out. Share it with everybody. Hit the like button. And we will see you next week for The Odyssey.
Yeah, Tom Holland and The Odyssey.
Tom Holland and The Odyssey. All right. See you guys later. Okay. All right. 3, 2,
2, 1.